Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. Hope you guys are doing well today. The picture that you see in that thumbnail, unless I forget to put it up, is Camp Fortune. I went there yesterday with my dad, and it was really nice. Really nice. It's not like they're not you wouldn't call it a mountain, but maybe it'd be about 1,000 feet or something. But they're ski hills. That's what it was. What I was on in the Gatineau Hills. And the Gatineau Hills go for probably hundreds of kilometers. It's good to get out once in a while and go to a nice place, isn't it? To be in nature. And hadn't felt that good. Yesterday, being there, you can see in that picture, it was just so nice to get out, away from everything. I recommend all you guys do that. I believe the kingdom of heaven will be like that. And when I was on the top of that, when we got to the top of that, I said to my dad, the temple is going to be on a very, very high mountain. That's what it's going to be like. That's what it says in the book. My main topic, although I'm going to talk about some things before it, is like AI, but drones. And those two are connected. We know this, right? So I'm going to get to that. I'm trying to gauge the kind of trouble I have in my esophagus right now. I'm not afraid to speak about this here. I live in Canada, okay? And this is about the wildfires. You can look on, I'm sure it's on pretty much every country's news channels. We had them in 2023. And in modern times, there has not been a bigger fire than what happened. It was bigger than Russia's biggest fire ever. We have the boreal forest, and there's just a lot of things being said, and I remember my friend, a lifelong friend, the one that said that Donald Trump is the Antichrist to me, and which I was kind of skeptical. He said that these wildfires were set. And I also didn't think so at first, but then I was like, yeah, I do believe they were. And what led me to believe they were was objective evidence, empirical evidence. If you look in Canada's history, there has never been fires like the one right now. Our skies, you can't even, the sun is haze, that's it. You can't see the sky. It's horrible. What are the chances that every single one of our provinces is on fire? And so if you look, I have this on my channel somewhere. You'll see something about fires. Dutch Sins. So he reads satellites. I don't know what the terminology of his profession is, but he reads satellite data. So he can see probably tornadoes, hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, all these different readings from maybe the USGS, United States Geological Survey Services, whatever. So this guy's a pro, and so on his channel, after my friend said it wasn't long after, so you can become very suspicious right away. Like one big fire or even 3 different provinces is a big deal. But for them to spread to every single one in a very short period of time, when you look this up, you're going to see disinformation. People saying that it was said on purpose. And I don't understand for the life of me why this video is not spoken about. Because it's ignored. It has to be, because so he's looking at Quebec and Ontario. I live in Ontario. And he's going through the data and he's flipping it time forward, time backward, time forward. For smoke to appear in a satellite data, it has to be very big. And it was, the nearest cloud was like 200 kilometers away. And when you go back and forth, you see probably about 15 to 25, and you can't see other ones because it's out of the picture. He's just looking at a specific spot. You can see about, I would say 20 to 25 simultaneous at the exact same time they start, or they appear as smoke on the satellite. That is so unlikely, and you can hear it in his voice. And he says directed energy weapon. He says it. And then later, the government got at him. I'm not even kidding. He said he had to stop doing it. But he's still doing it somehow. He did have to, he said, I'm bowing out because they're forcing me to do so. I saw that, and it's still on my channel somewhere. I looked at it over and over and over again. And then, so in this disinformation, it said that there is some type of phenomenon, that it's been dry back there, and that it is possible for whatever it is, 20 fires to start at once at the exact same time, 50 kilometers apart from one another. I mean, what's the likelihood of that? Of course they're going to say it's some type of phenomenon. Look who owns the airwaves. You know this. You know this. They ignore huge stories, so they're paid off. So what is the truth? I believe they've been set on fire by either a few things. The climate agenda. Number one, to lock people indoors. Number two, because of the smoke. And number three, it makes me wonder about places like China. Economic. Rob them of their resources. It's a war. And if you think that I'm saying I'm out of touch here, they just caught 2 Chinese scientists. I think it was like a man and a wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. And they had pathogens that could not be used for anything else but to put in crops to kill them and to spread. We're in that time. Yes, I do believe these forests have been set on fire. Do you know how wide it is from Victoria, say Victoria Island, to Newfoundland? It's like 7,000 miles or something. 7,000 miles or 7,000 kilometers. On a regular train, it takes like 3 or 4 days to get all the way across. Pardon me, I got to get it out of the picture. Yes, I do believe that. I think it's so unlikely that these fires are doing this. Yeah, that's my opinion. I think we live in such an evil time that the likelihood is yes. People say it's dry, but our winter, we had a long summer. It went into I was driving my motorcycle till December, but it was like -2. We didn't get snow till like December 1st or something. And so it had been cold all through probably most provinces. It was cold. Remember the systems over here? They were cold. So now they're saying it's the same thing. They're just saying it's the same thing. And someone's going to say, I don't understand of how the dryness and all this. Okay, give me a sec. I completely understand that if you don't take out dry brush and stuff like that, but you can't take all the dry brush out of Canada. We have one of the biggest forests in the world, if not the biggest. I think we have the biggest. There's the Amazon. Canada has a massive forest, and it's basically the same as Russia's. Like, what I mean is, like, it's like pretty much one long boreal forest type thing. So that's what I wanted to say about that. It's very invasive what's happening. Worst air quality in the world. It was like that for like a week here. You know, I have scars on my lungs, So I'm like, I don't want to, it's not doing anything to my lungs really, but I don't want them to grow because of poor air quality. I know it takes me a long time to get to certain things, but I just wanted to address this from Crystal River. So I listened to about half an hour of that. Excuse me. And I'll probably will listen to the rest, but is it possible that Japan was the head wound? Because Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, and then, you know, those aircraft carriers happened to be out at sea, right? They were lucky it was at the Enterprise. I think they would have won anyway, but even if they got them. I mean, there's an argument there. There were still a lot of ships on both sides, but... So the world wondered after the beast. So after Pearl Harbor, you're saying, the world wondered after the beast, the United States. And they just kept growing and growing, stronger and stronger. And that's what Daniel saw. It's possible. But this is the way I look at it. Oh, yeah. And I got a revelation, thanks to you for listening to that. The beast that was is not, okay, so I completely believe it's Donald Trump, okay? It fits, and you see all those signs around him. He's the Antichrist. I will not turn away from that. You know, does that, the beast that was is not yet is, does that fit Israel? Because it was, is not, because it disappeared and yet is. I don't think that's it. But I understand it says spiritually they're called, I don't understand the Sodom part, but Egypt, because they're looking back into their bondage. But anyways, that's for another discussion. But very interesting, though, to look into that. What I say to this is, even though, you know, all those, that's a long listen, but my theology is, of what's been going on has been correct. I'm not saying it's my theology, it's just the things and the signs I see around me. So I'm not going to ignore those because I see it happening. All right, so drones and artificial intelligence. Just give me a second to pace here. We're in such a strange time. Very strange time. Very unsure time for a lot of people. Who would have expected that? Let's just say 2023, you know, you hear of ChatGPT, right? And like, okay, I'm probably not going to use that, and that was me. Because I understood right away that it probably wasn't something good in the long run. And I hear, schools are having trouble with people cheating and all this different stuff, doing their essays and all this. And then this just started to grow and grow. And all you hear about is, NVIDIA chips and it's getting stronger. And is it sentient? And after the video I did, was it yesterday? I think it's obvious that there appears to be some type of consciousness. When I was 13 years old, I went to the theaters with my friends, and and we watched Terminator 2. And I've said this before, it was like a joke that could ever happen, Skynet. And they were just really showing us something. You see that in a lot of movies. They show you things way ahead of time. It appears so. Just like The Omen, right? That said with Donald Trump, the same initials, Damien. I forget his last name, but this is upcoming. This is coming very quickly, and no one expected it. People are being told that, nurses are going to be put out of work, and wow, like I'm in school, just about to go in my second year for addictions counseling. I've heard the AI girlfriend voices, or just all those voices. They can talk to you, and you can pick personalities, and man, they're going to be better at all these things than, I thought I probably went into a profession that won't be touched by AI, but I wouldn't say so. There's always going to be people that are going to be okay with talking to a computer because, man, these things they're probably perfect. If you can't tell it is, then they've won, right? I heard that yesterday. If you can't tell it's a computer or this or that, then I guess the epidemic of loneliness is probably going to disappear, both with actual robots that people can have sex with, but you just have this voice and you can talk to it throughout the whole day. To me, one of the reasons I'm alone is because of the thing I went through with this person, but because my abdominal pain, I can't be around someone, so I can understand the allure of an AI girlfriend, because I heard it in that video and it sounded really inviting. This is crazy where we are. I'm never going to go and use one of those things. I don't need to. I have Jesus Christ. They're saying, I'm not just saying they're saying, I'm not just saying YouTubers are saying, and the top people are saying that it's going to take over humanity, that it's going to kill us. It's not going to let it turn it off. And people will think, that's you're getting a little far here. No, it's all the top people, the people who created it, who are saying this. So why are they doing this? So if there's a group of 12 of them, they all know each other, they can all get together and stop it, right? No, but they're not going to. I heard a saying yesterday that, what was it? The person who's talking, don't listen to what they're saying, look at what they're doing. I hate the electronica world. I hate it. For schoolwork and searching, doing Google searches, whatever, that's okay. But we were chosen here to be in this time, and it's a crazy time. It's a crazy time. So they're saying that robots are going to be all over the place. Places like Amazon, Walmart are going to be delivering things to you. Don't be surprised within a year if you start seeing these things. This is how quick it's starting to roll out. And you hear them, the top people who make these things, say, oh yeah, we're also surprised at how quick it's going. But do you really think they are surprised? Do you not think they know a lot more than you and I do? They know what's coming in 10 years. But obviously, not everything, right? Because they're constantly developing. So there it is. That's with AI. That's just the AI part. And it's just the book of Daniel. Knowledge shall increase. And whether it's mingling with this, it doesn't mix. Iron and clay. Pardon me. My abdomen's really bad. It has been for the last while. Just give me a sec. It always is to a degree, but I tend to do these videos after I've been about 5 hours away from a medication dose of, that will stop the spasms in my throat. So that's why I appear this way. So I go out, I do a lot of work, whatever I have to do. And yeah. So this, to me, is just as dangerous and inextricably connected. The drones. I saw something the other day that actually looked frightening. Can you remember? So when the campaigns were going and Donald Trump wasn't in yet, he's like, the first or second week when I get in, I'm going to tell you what these UFO things are. By the way, if you voted for Donald Trump, he hasn't revealed anything to you yet. He hasn't kept about 3/4 of his promises. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's Antichrist. I've known for a long time that I've watched so many shows about future weapons and looked and read them, tons of these different weapon systems. It was a long time ago that they, just give me a sec. I thought that was a bug on my little tiny, like a cockroach size, I don't know what you want to call it, a little drone, because it can fly. In the movie, I think it was it Forgotten or Black Hawk Down? I may have my movie incorrect here, but it flies into a cabin, an open space. It just sits there and it listens. These things have been around for at least 15 years. And the point that we are at right now, I could buy a bug about that big, probably smaller, probably the size of a bee. And it has a camera on it, and it can record, and it can loiter, so you can just sit. I could put it in anyone's room, crawl it under the door if they don't have a space thing. That's where we are. They can fly and hover outside your windows, your apartment. They can land on your back, and then when you walk in, go off. This is where we are. So this is what was scary. When they were having this UFO thing, right? That they said, Iranian mothership. And that kind of sounds, sorry, itchy back there. That kind of sounds funny, doesn't it? Like it just sounds funny. Iranian mothership of drones. Is it? Is it possible? How would they do it? They said a drone's the size of a car, or even bigger, the size of a big van. Someone in the States has one, and I'm not saying this is it, but this is the possibility that they could put 300 drones in there, just little small things, just maybe like this big. And they all fly out. I don't know how they do it, but they do, and then they come back to their mothership. Now, the one that's scary, I think it was an aircraft carrier. A hatch opened, and about 5,000 of them came out. This is what the race is right now. You know that what happened with Operation Spiderweb, right? That was meticulously planned and all that type of stuff, but just picture, these things are going to overwhelm. I can buy I know if I really put my mind to it, I could buy a little guy that size, pay $500 or so for a good one, put a little needle on it or something that, you could rig it up to when it lands on someone, it injects them with something. Who knows? It could be your feces to cause them infection. I'm just saying. There's so much evil out there right now, and they keep telling you that it's coming, but they don't do anything about it. How good is it right now? How good are these robots? They're doing flips. They have memory that can be like a Bruce Lee. I'm not kidding you. I saw them fighting. And so I just want to finish it off with this because, my mind before doing this is, Dave, just do your schoolwork. Just do your schoolwork. And I'm just, no, I have to say this. That I'm sure they're making some type of army, super soldiers fitted with super smart AI, wherever they are right now. I think it's stupid when people say that they're not, we're just, physician level or specialist level intelligence. If it knows everything, and I understand there are, you have to have a cognitive, you have to know different things, use different system, multitask and all that. Man, they're past that. I know they're past that. And so all they have to do is make them in numbers and make them in ways that if new chips arise, right, then they can be outfitted to, it's just the chips. So they're making soldiers, and no need for soldiers, no need for people, right? Yuval Noah Harari, the days of Noah. Yuval Noah Harari. I could go in detail about what these things can do, what they look like, but I think I'll just finish there. They're saying in 2 years, our world is going to look so different. They're saying in some sectors up to 50% of jobs will be gone. What are they doing to people? And every other country is racing to keep up. Yeah. When I think of people like that Kevin guy that's always on Fox News, he's Canadian, I see that man as a traitor to Canada. Trying to merge the U.S. with Canada, and all for money. You just know it. Data centers is what they're looking for. That's what it's going to be about. Are we going to be put on universal basic income? I'm going to finish by saying this. And I wanted to do a different video on this. Let it play and then comment on it. Palantir. Have you heard of Palantir? It's up and coming. I think we're going to be hearing more about this. And some thinks it could be what causes Revelation 13, that no man might buy or sell unless he had the mark and all those types of things. The thing that's going to implement it. Could it be Palantir? It's intelligence, military intelligence. And it's like, they say it's like the SS and the CIA all rolled in one. It gathers data on every single person and makes a profile. I just saw that, and I'm about half convinced on Palantir that it could be. So, what is the way out of this? Jesus Christ, right? And so I make this to describe what's happening. This is what Daniel saw. I'm sure of it. He probably saw the steam engine in a vision, and the telegraph and all those things, and then he probably saw, and then he wanted to know, but no, they had to shut up the books, right? So you don't have to worry about any of these things. None of them. Anything I said to you. I wonder what's going to happen with these drones. Because they're starting to make, they have to be in the millions by now. I'm sure of it. Drone armies. Overwhelm, saturate. That's what I have to say. Your only way out is Jesus Christ. You put your faith, you walk by faith and not by sight. Fall in love with God. Try it. Don't be angry at him. He has reasons. He's a good God. We're lucky to have a good God. I don't care how much pain you're suffering with, because I have 5 different bad intractable pain disorders myself. I have more than that, but the ones that are very painful, I still love God. I understand, that it's just part of the fall, and that those things are going to be reversed. God bless.